Alright, so herein I'll describe the evolution of chickens demonstrated over the course of natural selection and speciation per an elaborate timeline of its earthly descent. That being said, let's get into it. Yeah, so starting off with the chicken's first ancestor, we have the Tyrannosaurus rex, which was, oh shit.
60 to 90 million years ago.
Yeah, so the Tyrannosaurus rex's manifested adaptations comprised of intimidating behavior, as they would often aggress and kill other animals on a daily basis. And in this image, you can see a Tyrannosaurus like literally killing a tiny little dinosaur. Poor guy. Yeah, so next up we have the habitat which they lived in. So they lived at saltwater swamps. What? Saltwater swamps located about geographically tropical coastlines. And they also lived at forests characterized by little to no mid-story trees, low and or moderate overstory density, and a ground layer with large concentrations of vegetation. And this would basically depict what it looked like then. Yeah, so in substance, one should acknowledge that their skeletal structures are very similar. As you see, they both have this type of leg and whatever. Apart from that, they both walk on two legs. They have scaly feet, they both have sharp claws, and they both have big heads and arched necks as well, which evinces how they are related. Yeah, even though they behave differently. Like, one's awkward, the other one's just like a monster. Yeah, so next up we got the Asteriones maastrichtensis. I give it my shot, bro, who cares? It lived approximately 67 million years ago, also known as the Wonder Bird. It's an adaptation that the Asteriones maastrichtensis had was its long legs, notably, and its red and black colored beaks, which were innately intended for camouflage, alongside its partly brown, partly red coat. And they populated coastal environments, like the one here, and fossil records evince that their skulls are shaped similarly as to chickens. This is a chicken's head. This is a 3D printed replica of this bird's head. Furthermore, we have the red jungle fowl. It is the chicken's third eldest ancestor, and it lived 2,000 years before Christ. So its manifested adaptations comprised of a relatively small body size, and apart from that, it was also timid and small-brained, literally. So its habitat was like shrublands and field corridors, and sea levels as high as 6,560 feet. They exhibit matching physical attributes because, you know, they look the same from this like image or whatever. So in the present day, we have the Gaius domesticus, which has strived for the past 8,000 years. An indefinite array of feather colors are like inherited by them nowadays. They're relatively unintelligent creatures for the most part, and common behavior includes being incessantly loud, fast-moving, and being able to jump pretty high. And they're active during the daytime, like the previous ones. They are now like, they chiefly live on farms because then again they were domesticated by humans, so they don't really have a natural habitat in that sense. Yeah. My living things environment has changed over time in the sense that the smaller organisms which it previously comprised of survived, thus causing them to devolve from apex predators to awkward, flightless birds. It is also worth noting that their domestication used for poultry products may also have been at fault for the relegation in the food chain. Natural selection is a scientific theory conceived by naturalist Charles Darwin, whereby organisms that are innately superior to others are bound to prosper and produce mutual characteristics with their young, as evinced by the history of my creature. The extinction of dinosaurs per the Big Bang had a profound effect on the speciation that I observed, notably the T-Rex, which chickens inherently derive from.
As a result, species naturally adapted to their environments and evolved to the extent of the modern day. One example of this from a living thing would be their inhabitants of coasts, as they enabled them to survive by providing an ideal environment for them to survive.